I think that we can experience different kinds of depression. And one form that depression takes is a kind of inflamed appetite, a haunting desire for more. Usually, when we think about an appetite, we think about food. Something like a sudden craving for ice cream or our favorite cereal. But we also experience a less spontaneous kind of hunger as well. One that lies dormant and keeps itself in the background until we find ourselves in a moment where our distractions are minimal. When we're not feeding ourselves with news, Instagram photos, TV shows, or even a fulfilling workday. Because our appetite isn't just biological, it's existential and emotional. The kinds of things we crave are dynamic, which is why we chase after all kinds of things. We don't just crave our favorite foods, we crave respect, affection, amusement, and material wealth. And if you're in America, odds are you can browse your phone and see just how many people have access to an abundance of all those things, or at least what looks like an abundance. And in some weird way, that can make it seem possible to satisfy every appetite. If only we had the energy, or the resources, the discipline, or the talent. And being so up close to images and sounds of fulfillment can cultivate a sense of lack that ignores the very real, very tangible pieces of joy and delight that constitute our lives. And that is a kind of depression. A lingering sensation of lack that makes true joy feel evasive. This phenomenon, this pervasive feeling of lack, is something I would call a phenomena of else. What else is there to have? What else is there to watch? Or what else is there to add to my personality? What else is there to scroll through? What else? When so much is available to us through the marketplace of knickknacks and luxuries, we get caught up in an entire ecology of options. It's the atmosphere of what else. And the availability of these things is not a threat in itself, only when paired with the fact that we are creatures who crave, even when our physical needs are met. It's a kind of hunger that spawns from our connection to the unknown, the mysterious, and it breeds a kind of need that cannot be satisfied. In fact, it would only be subdued if we had no way of making meaning in life, if we had no way to imagine our sense of purpose, a bigger picture that we fit into. Sometimes we subdue this hunger with religion, or maybe a devotion to a humanitarian cause or a dream that we chase. We do what we can to respond to the vastness of our potential as imaginative and mortal creatures. This sensation will always be part of being human, part of being limited in what we know and limited in what satisfaction we can experience. But the marketplace, the consumer's global access to technology and a wide range of consumer products, is a marketplace that can make us think we can buy away the feeling of lack inherent in being human. And while no item can resolve this deeper appetite, they can distract us from it. And sadly, that distraction also creates a kind of habit where we ignore the underlying hunger that asks for something we can't give it, something we can't supply it with or manufacture for it. And so we often mistake the call of our deeper selves for the call of the online shopping mall, or a call to the endless collection of films and shows on Netflix. And none of these things are themselves an enemy. Not even our appetite is to blame. In fact, the appetite is a voice that should either call us into a practical yet limited form of joy, or call us to a place of stillness where we sit with our longing for what cannot be had. I think what makes this so uncomfortable for us is feeling that this void is as big as we are. And that's where I think we're better off with a creative approach, one that doesn't involve obeying every inclination to distract ourselves with whatever scrolling or watching just passes the time and drowns out the silence. We have to scale down that feeling of lack by putting it next to other things. We can make that yearning become distinctive and partial when we learn to sit still, let it be, and take an inventory of our lives as something that's full and decorated. Because that's what our lives are, filled with so many real, tangible joys, friendships, skills, interests, privileges, and experiences that truly are great in size and can help us reduce the scale of that mysterious hunger. So, how do we scale down our appetite when it swells up? Well, we can make a practice of allowing it near us without consenting too eagerly to its demands. And if we do this regularly enough, appetite becomes a guest that we welcome into our house instead of the other way around. We become the host who listens to the solicitations of our appetite, while we are enclosed by a house filled with things that we treasure, people, memories, experiences, all the things that make up our present joy and privilege, things that make it hard to buy into the idea that what we really need is more. Because what we really need might just be to sit with what makes us human, the part that's been made easy to drown out. If we can do that, if we can discern the legitimacy of our appetite's call, if we can keep it next to us while keeping it from becoming us, we can put our longing in its proper place. We can experience it instead of fearing that it makes up all of what we are. And from there, we might find more contentment in the delights that our small and finite lives are capable of holding in and holding close.